In leading up to the full launch of Dune Awakening, I wanted to make a quick video breaking down everything that I wish I knew before I started playing this game. I've got 5 things that I want to quickly break down today, so let's go ahead and cut this plug and jump right on into it. To start off here, I want to talk about the very first area, the Haga Basin. For all intensive purposes, this place is just a tutorial zone. I really wish I knew that you practically abandon this place not too far into the main quest line. As a matter of fact, one of the main quests is to literally abandon the bases that you have in the Haga Basin, meaning they want you to go into your map and abandon these bases. Really, the only reason that you would ever come back to this place is to maybe explore for some intel points or possibly some of the unique schematics scattered around the Haga Basin. What I did inside of the beta was I spent a lot of time building out my base here just to find out that I needed to abandon this thing. So inside of the main game, we are going to definitely be doing the bare minimum when it comes to setting up a base. And we're also not going to be looking for anywhere quite fancy because I spent a lot of time looking for a base inside of the beta. But let's go ahead and move on into the next thing that I want to talk about, and probably my biggest form of frustration with this game, and that is melee encounters, both in PvE and in PvP, apparently, though I didn't experience much PvP. But the enemies that have melee are most definitely the most dangerous enemies for several reasons. First off, the fact that because these are typically shielded enemies, you can't just shoot them with your gun and take them down. You have to engage with them in melee as well. And typically there's a lot of gunfire happening while you are trying to do this. But you compound that with the amount of stagger that you receive if you get hit by one of these enemies. It is absolutely ridiculous and can be something that easily stun locks you into dying. Some of the worst PvE scenarios that I ran into during the beta were when I had multiple enemies firing bullets all around me, and then out of nowhere, you got 2 shielded enemies coming at me with swords or batons or sticks. It doesn't matter. They're gonna whoop my... On top of that, the pathing for the AI in this game is honestly like none that I've ever seen before. They have worked around so many obstacles that I've gotten used to being able to use to stick enemies on inside of these games. Dune Awakening is not having it, especially with the melee characters. I've had multiple of them use their whole flying knee ability to come zooming up a hill that I had them stuck on just to break my face in. Also, outrunning these AI isn't really an option either, especially with the melee characters who, like I said, get this whole flying knee ability, but on top of that, they seem to get some sort of in-game speed boost if you as a character get too far away from them. So if you knock one off of a cliff, that thing isn't going to slowly saunter its way back to where it normally roams. It is going to literally zoom, fly almost, run, sprint all the way back to where it was originally attacking you. And it's going to be back on you in no time. So like I said, the melee encounters are definitely the most dangerous encounters and the ones that you want to keep your eye on the most. And I didn't even get into the whole desync issues that are happening with melee when it comes to PvP, which is causing some major problems. It'll be interesting to see how they address that. Personally, I didn't experience much PvP inside of the beta. Let me know down in the comments if you guys did, but I'm seeing clips all over the place of people experiencing massive desync while they're trying to PvP other players, and that is a major problem. The third thing that I want to break down is the fact that unique recipes are not RNG, meaning that they are located in specific chests. So if there is a unique schematic that you have your eye on or that you desperately want, you should be able to easily look up the location of where it's at and then go find one for yourself. For example, you have the Emperor's Wings suspension belt located inside of the first testing station in the Haga Basin, and this unique recipe is absolutely insane. As a matter of fact, I'm completely revolving my day 1 strategy around not only the tier 1 but the tier 2 version of this recipe. Check out the video I made talking about that if you want to know why. But the second to last thing that I want to go over here is the fact that you can basically turn Dune Awakening into a vampire simulator. Thirst is obviously a massive aspect to any survival game, but in Dune Awakening especially, it is a rough survival aspect that you are going to have to constantly monitor. However, you can in fact refill your thirst meter by drinking the blood of your enemies, aka Vampire Simulator. This only comes with very minor and non-permanent setbacks, and the whole blood drinking mechanic might seem like a no-brainer to some. And honestly, inside of the beta, I knew about the mechanic. I just didn't realize how effective it was and how much more efficient it was at managing your thirst, especially when it comes to the very early game of Dune Awakening. And then last but most definitely not least, I want to bring up the fact that quest items inside of Dune Awakening can be found before you actually activate the quest. And this is actually huge. For example, inside of the very first testing station in the Haga Basin, you find 2 or 3 different items in there that are required in order to complete specific quests. One of them being unlocking the Planetologist class, and you can pick these up at any time whatsoever. This can definitely lead to some very quick quest completions if you manage to route your path properly. This will be something that I go into more depth on in my day 1 game plan video. Keep an eye out on the channel for that. I know that I said 5, but I'm actually coming at you with 6 because I've got a bit of a bonus tip here that I want to break down, and that is the vehicle backup tool. This is something that I actually did not use at all inside of the beta. I didn't quite understand its purpose, to be honest, but in doing some more research in preparation for the full launch, I now understand that this vehicle backup tool will actually allow you to pick your vehicle up and put it into your inventory. I can't tell you how many times I kind of had to route my way dependent on where I was going to be parking my vehicle, and I didn't ever explore too far from the vehicle when I was using it. And had I just been able to put this thing in a vehicle backup tool and throw it in my inventory, would have been a complete and total game changer. So bit of a bonus tip here coming in at the end. Let me know down in the comments if you managed to make it this far so I can give you an extra shout out. Comment something like vehicle backup tool or something like that. But that's it. Those are the 5 things that I wanted to break down inside of Dune Awakening that I really wish that I had known right when I started. Be sure to leave a comment if you happen to have any really good tips for Dune Awakening so we can just keep adding to this list. But that's all that I wanted to go over inside of this video. I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I'm out.